Terry,
Joseph W. Brady's update on Victor Valley College developments includes how VVC President Dr. Daniel Walden's commitment to the school winning the prestigious Aspen Award sets the tone for continued progress, achievement, and success at VVC.
I can tell you as now the president of the board of trustees, I'm humbled to work with Trustee Pinkerton and Brandon Wood, a renowned attorney on up here, Jennifer Tarpley, a very committed person in education out of Oro Grande in human resource, and Dennis Henderson, who's really our longest standing board trustee member. We hired Dr. Daniel Walden back in January 1st of 2019. Actually, I think it was January 2nd was his first day. Not only has he been great to work with, I think that he brings a different type of leadership. I think that Dr. Wagner did. He is very engaging with his senior staff. He's very challenging with his senior staff. He holds them accountable. But he does it in a different way. I mean, I might be more seen as a micromanager, where I think he's more of a macro manager. He wants to be out in the community. He wants to meet people. So far, I believe that he has met 125 people at private meetings or public meetings or lunches since he came on board. And that's really important. Our college needs to have a face that's out there. We need to have better interaction with local industries. So, we have now a great working relationship and actually an educational platform with General Atomics, who might be one of the biggest employers on up here. ComAv with Craig Garrett, senior out there at the base. So we've made great strides. When I got on the board on February 1st of 2011, VVC was in pretty tough shape. I didn't realize how bad it was, but we had a structural deficit that was $3.5 million. And unless you're Warren Buffett or you just have a lot of money, you can't have a structural deficit. And so I kind of learned how government does their accounting. We were on the brink of probation. We were about ready to lose our accreditation in the college. And when Dr. Roger Wagner, he came in and not only had a leadership style that we had not seen before at the college, but he was able to steady the ship. So I felt, and some people may not like this, but the best description is when I got to VVC in 2011, it was like walking onto an aircraft carrier and there was nobody really at the helm. And there were a lot of people steering it, but there wasn't a vision, there wasn't a strategy, there weren't any goals. So when Dr. Wagner came in and brought servant leadership and taught us servant leadership and helped work with the constituency groups, and he worked with CTA and he worked with CSE and AFT, and he worked with the board. I mean, our board was a mess. We didn't get along. We fought a lot. People know that John Pinkerton and I were not friends, and we're incredible friends. I call him my sixth brother now. So what does that tell you that Roger's influence did to me personally, I think to John, and made me grow up and made hopefully all of us grow up. And we then hired Dr. Walden. And in the interview of the 4 final candidates, Dr. Walden said, this was the game changer, and you're a sports guy, so you can understand. He came to the board and he said, we're going to take this college to a level that we've never seen. And our college now is in its 58th year, I believe. And we're going to compete for the Aspen Award. That was the deal. And, now with the Aspen Award, we have Brad Phillips, who is renowned nationally in having worked with some community colleges on this award. And at the end of the day, there's 972 colleges that can compete for it. He recently met with us at our January board meeting, and he laid it out. And he said, this is where you are today, and these are the good things. Here are things you really got to work on. Okay, so we need to be sure we get people to graduate. We had our largest graduating class last year of all time, 1,300. But this is where you sit today in probably the bottom 25%. But the numbers that the Aspen committee used go back 3 years. So last year's graduation numbers now become a number, and if we continue that, that's one of like four categories that they look at: our student success and our graduation rates and things like that. We really believe as a community college that within probably 5 to 6 years that we'll be at least in the top 10. So there's 972 schools that can compete. Every year they narrow it down to 150 that I think qualify, I believe, and I might be wrong in how I'm saying this. The prize that they give every 2 years is $1 million. And the $1 million obviously is incredibly important to a community college like VVC with a $70 million budget. But at the end of the day, I think our board is more committed to winning the prize than the $1 million. And again, when Dr. Walden came to us and said, "Hey, we can do this," and we had a candid conversation in his office, and I said, "Doc, this is where we're at, and this is where we've been. And do you think," and he looked at me and he said, "Joe, you've never taken no for an answer, so why would you be?" And it kind of made me realize that yeah, we could compete. So if you don't believe you can compete, you'll never compete. So the board is absolutely beyond committed, extremely excited. And now what we're trying to do is figure out how do we get 1,000 of our employee partners, faculty members, our CSEA, our AFT, our CTA, the CTA. How do we get 17,000 students? So we have 17,000 students that come through the doors in a year. How do we get everybody to understand how important the Aspen Award is? How do we get everybody to have that gut check to say, we want to be a part of success? My commitment politically as an elected public official, so I could clarify that, terminates at 11:59 on, I think it's December 13th of 2022 from the college. And I'll walk away and know that we did the best that we could. Hopefully we'll have our new educational conference center under construction, and that will be hopefully a venue that will be used by everybody in the Valley. We've given out a design contract for that so far. We will be opening the one-stop shop here on February 7th, and I've got the great privilege of having Joe Range there to, we've actually created a nice little gift for him. So at the end of the day, when this is won, and I hope to be called back to be a part of the group that receives it, what does it do? It says to students, you want to come to VVC because it's one of the highest ranked community colleges in the country. Okay, so hopefully we have more people that want to come in from anywhere they want to. And then hopefully what does it do? It engages our business community to say, you know what, we want to hire more people. And hopefully with some other things that are going on, the High Desert Survey and what Dr. Husing's doing, I think what the college is doing, and what we're doing with the Mojave River Valley movement, and just a lot of great things. Hopefully hopefully the economy will reposition itself and really will really benefit from the college saying we are not only going to compete, but Terry, I'm going to tell you this, and it's January of 2020, so you can record this back in 2025 when we have made not only the top 50 but hopefully the top 25 in the year after we win this. We are going to win this, and we're going to win it because we have a great chief. Dr. Walden is fun to work with. He filled some big shoes with Dr. Wagner, and I think I think that he not only has the approval of his staff, but you can feel it. I mean, you feel it when you walk into his office and you meet Michelle and Gabriella and the interaction with the foundation and Mike Nutter and Catherine Abbott and all the leaders there. I mean, it's infectious. So I'm all in. Let me tell you.
Be watching for forthcoming Joseph W. Brady online updates on the High Desert Quality of Life Survey, additional developments at Victor Valley College, the upcoming March 2020 election, and Spring Valley Lake.